Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Abdul Wasai Khan, and today we're diving into the latest updates on Picoin. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking about this one. There's a ton of buzz, a lot of speculation, and frankly, a lot of questions floating around. Is Picoin the next big thing in cryptocurrency? Something that could potentially reshape how we think about digital money? Or is it, as some skeptics suggest, just a well-marketed dream that might not ever fully materialize into tangible value? If you're curious about what's happening with Picoin right now, what the current realities are, and what the future might hold, stick around because we're going to break it all down. We're going to look at some of the key aspects of Picoin that you absolutely need to understand. For instance, why isn't it listed on major exchanges like Binance or Coinbase, where you can trade most other cryptocurrencies? That's a big one. Then we'll tackle the burning question: can you actually sell or trade your Picoin for real money right now? And spoiler alert, the answer might surprise some of you. We'll also delve into the mining process, tapping that button on your phone, and discuss what it means that the coin isn't fully live yet. My goal here is to give you a clear, no-nonsense overview so you can form your own informed opinions. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, because we're about to go deep into the world of Picoin. This isn't financial advice, of course. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold anything. Instead, this is about education and understanding. The crypto space can be incredibly confusing, and projects like Picoin with their unique approach often generate more questions than answers. Let's try to answer some of those today and get a better picture of where Picoin stands and where it might be heading. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's kick things off with a really common question I get all the time. Why can't I find Picoin on the big crypto exchanges? We're talking about the giants like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, the places where most people go to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies. It's a valid question because, for many, an exchange listing is a sign of legitimacy, and more importantly, a gateway to liquidity. If a coin is on a major exchange, it generally means there's a market for it, a place where supply meets demand, and you can, in theory, convert it to other assets or cash. So, the absence of Picoin from these platforms is definitely noteworthy, and something we need to unpack carefully. The primary reason, and it's a pretty straightforward one, is that Picoin is still in a very specific phase of its development, often referred to by the Pi-core team as the enclosed mainnet period. Think of this as a sort of walled garden. The mainnet blockchain for Pi is live. Transactions can technically happen within this enclosed system, but it's not yet connected to the outside world, meaning external exchanges can't integrate it. Projects usually go through several stages: testnet, then maybe an enclosed mainnet like Pi, and then finally an open mainnet where it becomes fully public and accessible. Until Pi transitions to that open mainnet phase, you simply won't see it on these major exchanges because there's no technical way for them to list it and facilitate trading. Now, even when a project is on an open mainnet, getting listed on a top-tier exchange isn't automatic. These exchanges have their own rigorous vetting processes. They look at a whole host of factors: the project's technology, its security, the size and engagement of its community, its utility and use case, the team behind it, legal compliance, and crucially, potential trading volume. They want to list coins that people will actually trade because that's how exchanges make their money, through trading fees. So Picoin will not only need to reach open mainnet, but also convince these exchanges that it meets all their criteria, which can be a pretty high bar for any new cryptocurrency project, regardless of its user base. It's also worth considering the strategic reasons from Pi Network's side. They've emphasized building utility and a robust ecosystem before opening up to public exchanges. Their roadmap suggests a focus on developing apps, fostering peer-to-peer transactions within the PE ecosystem, and ensuring their KYC, Know Your Customer processes, are solid. This approach, they argue, will create genuine value and demand for Picoin, rather than just speculative trading that could happen if it were listed prematurely. So there's a deliberate, phased rollout happening here, and exchange listings are, by design, a later step in that process, assuming everything goes according to their plan. So, to sum up this part, Picoin isn't on Binance or Coinbase right now, primarily because it's in an enclosed mainnet phase, making it technically incompatible with external exchanges, and even in the future a listing will depend on transitioning to an open mainnet and then meeting the stringent requirements of these major platforms. It's a waiting game. and also a test of whether the project can deliver on its long-term vision to a point where these exchanges see it as a valuable addition to their offerings. For now, its absence from these exchanges is a key characteristic of its current stage of development. Following directly from the fact that PiCoin isn't on major exchanges, we arrive at another critical point that causes a lot of confusion. You currently cannot officially sell or trade your PiCoin for real money, like US dollars, or for other established cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum. This is probably one of the most misunderstood aspects of PiCoin right now, and it's crucial to be crystal clear about it. If anyone tells you they can easily convert your Pi into cash through official channels today, you should be extremely skeptical because that infrastructure simply doesn't exist yet for the average user. The reason for this inability to trade for fiat or other cryptos is, again, directly tied to the enclosed mainnet status we just talked about. Because the Pi blockchain isn't connected to external systems, there's no bridge for Pi coins to move onto an exchange where they could be traded against other assets. Think of it like having a special currency that's only accepted in one specific isolated club. Until that club opens its doors and allows its currency to be exchanged with the outside world's money, its value outside that club is purely theoretical. The Pi you see in your app is for now confined to the Pi ecosystem. Now you might hear about or even see some people attempting peer-to-peer, P2P trades for PiCoin, perhaps offering goods or services in exchange for Pi, or even trying to swap Pi for other currencies in informal off-exchange transactions. While these activities do occur, they come with significant risks. These are not officially sanctioned or supported mechanisms, and there's no escrow, no protection if a deal goes wrong. The Pi core team has explicitly warned against participating in such unauthorized sales, as they can lead to scams and loss of Pi. So, while the idea of P2P bartering is part of Pi's long-term vision for utility, trying to cash out through unregulated channels right now is a precarious endeavor. This current inability to sell or trade Pi for established value dramatically impacts how we perceive its price. You might see websites or social media posts claiming Pi has a certain dollar value. It's vital to understand that these are almost entirely speculative or based on those very limited, risky IOU markets or unauthorized P2P trades. There's no official, widely accepted market price for PiCoin because there's no broad market where it's being freely traded against fiat currencies. Until it hits open mainnet and gets listed on legitimate exchanges, any price you see is not reflective of a true market valuation based on widespread liquidity and trading. So, what does this mean for you as a Pi user or someone interested in it? It means that at this moment, PiCoin is very much a speculative asset whose tangible, real-world monetary value is yet to be determined. The accumulation of Pi in your app represents a potential future value, contingent on the project successfully navigating its roadmap, launching open mainnet, getting listed on exchanges, and fostering genuine utility that creates demand. It's an investment of your time, tapping the button, and your belief in the project's future, rather than an asset with a current realizable cash value. It's like holding a ticket for a lottery that hasn't been drawn yet. Chapter 3. Mining on your phone. What's really in your Pi app wallet? Let's talk about the mining aspect of PiCoin, because this is how most people interact with the project, by tapping a button on the Pi Network app on their smartphones every 24 hours. The term mining here is used a bit differently than traditional Bitcoin mining, which involves massive computational power to solve complex mathematical problems, known as proof of work. Pi's approach is designed to be accessible to everyday users, requiring minimal battery and data, and it's based on a consensus algorithm adapted from the Stellar Consensus Protocol, focusing on building a security graph based on trusted connections. When you tap that lightning button in the app, you're essentially confirming your active participation in the network and contributing to its security circles, if you've set those up. In return, you see your Pi balance increase. It's a very user-friendly process, and it's undoubtedly one of the reasons Pi has managed to attract such a massive global user base. Seeing that number go up every day can be quite motivating, and it gives users a sense of accumulating something of potential future value. However, it's important to understand what this accumulated balance represents in the current phase of the project. The Pi coins you see in your app, while reflecting your contributions and potential future claim, are not yet fully live in the same way coins on a public, open blockchain are. During this enclosed mainnet period, the balances are recorded on Pi's servers and are intended to be migrated to the actual mainnet blockchain once a user passes KYC or Know Your Customer verification. This KYC process is a critical step designed to ensure that real, unique individuals are behind the accounts, preventing fake accounts and bots from unfairly accumulating Pi, which is a good thing for the long-term integrity of the network. This enclosed mainnet phase serves several purposes. It allows the core team to test various features, for developers to build Pi apps utilities within the ecosystem using Pi, and for the community to grow and mature. It's a controlled environment designed to bootstrap the ecosystem before fully opening it up. So while you can see your Pi and in some limited, sanctioned ways, use it within specific Pi apps or for peer-to-peer transfers within the enclosed system, once that functionality is more widely enabled in post-KYC, you can't, for example, send it to an external wallet address on a different blockchain or trade it on a public exchange. Ultimately, the Pi you're mining and accumulating in the app is a claim on Pi cryptocurrency that will become fully transferable and potentially tradable if and when the project successfully transitions to the open mainnet. This transition is contingent on various factors, including the maturity of the ecosystem, the progress of mass KYC, and the development of real utility for the coin. So, while the app provides a tangible way to see your engagement rewarded, the liveness of those coins in the broader crypto market is still a future event that everyone in the Pi community is eagerly anticipating. It's a promise of future access, not current unrestricted access. Chapter 4. PiCoin's Path Forward. Patience, Potential, and Prudence. So, there you have it. A detailed look at the current state of PiCoin. As we've discussed, it's a project that's still very much in its early and developmental stages. The fact that it's not on major exchanges like Binance or Coinbase and that you can't currently trade your Pi for real money are all characteristics of this enclosed mainnet phase. The mining process on your phone is an accessible way to accumulate Pi, but these coins are waiting for the open mainnet to unlock their full potential in the broader crypto world. There's a lot of potential for the future, absolutely, but it's coupled with the typical uncertainties of any ambitious crypto project. The journey for Pi Network is one that requires patience from its community. The vision is grand: to build a widely distributed and accessible cryptocurrency with genuine utility. However, turning that vision into a fully functioning, widely adopted and valuable reality is a monumental task. There are technical hurdles, ecosystem development challenges, and the ever-present need to foster real-world use cases. Keep an eye on the developments, watch for official announcements from the Pi core team regarding KYC progress, utility building, and especially any timelines or milestones for the open mainnet. And as always, and I cannot stress this enough, do your own research before making any decisions based on what you hear or see, including this video. The crypto space is exciting, but it's also volatile and complex. Understand what you're getting into, weigh the potential against the realities, and never invest more time or resources than you're comfortable with. Thanks for watching. I hope this breakdown was helpful in clarifying what's really going on with PiCoin. Don't forget to smash that like button if you found value, subscribe for more updates and deep dives, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. Let me know your thoughts on PiCoin in the comments.